Some say the road holds memories, but others say it records what shouldn't be remembered. A trucker once saw a figure appear beside him, breathing, moving, but never caught on video. Dashcam footage showed only fog. Radio logs skipped. His logbook ink ran off the page. What he saw that night reappeared in other reports. Same pose, same eyes, same silence. They never speak. They appear in mirrors, in windows, in the edge of headlights before fading. But no camera has captured them. No photo stays. The system always says file corrupted. This story is built from fragments, real transmissions, cut off mid-sentence, always at night. And if you're watching this, maybe they've already passed by your rig, too. Don't trust only what your eyes see. Trust what doesn't let you forget. Here's the story of the trucker who saw someone appear and disappear in real time. The radio cracked once, then fell silent, as if waiting for something behind the next mile. I glanced at the mirror. Nothing behind me, just fog pulling shapes that didn't stay still. The road felt longer tonight, not distance, but like time itself stretched around my wheels. Suddenly, motion, not on the road, but in the reflection. A shape sitting in the sleeper bed. I turned fast, empty, just blankets and my duffel bag. But the air felt warmer than before. I reached for the dashcam playback. It glitched. The frame skipped. My own voice cut in half. Then it returned. That same shape, now closer. Not blinking, not moving, but breathing. I hit record again, but the screen froze, and the timestamp blinked. Undefined frame rate. My hand trembled. The cabin lights dimmed without me touching anything. And a voice said softly from the radio, "He sees you now." The fog shifted sideways, not blowing, but slithering, like it followed something unseen. I locked the doors, not because I felt threatened, but because the mirror showed movement. Again, I checked the dashcam, rewind, freeze. There was my bunk, empty, but I saw someone. I leaned closer to the screen, just static now, but behind it, faint breathing echoed back. I shut it off and stared at the mirror. The figure was gone, but the blankets were disturbed. The smell changed. Not smoke, not oil. Something like wet cloth and metal left in sunlight. Outside, my headlights flickered once, then twice, and then stayed dimmer than before. A shape passed across the road. But no weight, no steps, only shadow with unnatural timing. The CB radio clicked twice. Then a voice said, "It happens more often than you know." I whispered, "Who's there?" And the silence replied, "You." I drove faster, like the wheels might outrun whatever my mirror thought it saw tonight. The fog thickened, but only behind me, like it didn't want to block my way. "Just follow." I tapped the brakes. The engine hummed wrong, as if adjusting to something inside the cab. In the rear view, a hand touched the glass. Not mine, not human. Long fingers, still and cold. I spun to look, but again, nothing. Only my gear and an empty coffee cup rolling slowly. The cup stopped on its own. No bump, no slope. Just stopped like someone held it briefly. I turned the dashcam toward the back, hit record and spoke loud. "If you're there, show up." No answer. But the screen blurred, then cleared, and showed a reflection that wasn't mine. Its eyes didn't blink. Its skin looked wet. It smiled like it knew how the story ends. And the voice again. "We don't record. We remember." I pulled into a rest stop. Lit empty. Too quiet, like the kind of quiet that listens back. The bathroom lights buzzed. In the mirror, I saw movement, but not my own. A second later, I waved. My reflection didn't. It only stared, mouth slightly open, like mid-scream frozen. I turned fast. Nothing. But behind the stall door, faint footprints wet the tiled floor. They led to the sink, then vanished. I touched the mirror, warm, almost pulsing under skin. The lights blinked once. Then everything powered down. Even the vending machines cut off. A new reflection appeared. Not me, not human. Tall, pale, with a head that pulsed like breath. It didn't speak. It just watched, like deciding what version of me it wanted to become. When the lights returned, I was alone again. But the footprints, they were mine now. And the mirror whispered, even without sound, that's how they change. Back in the truck, my GPS spun, showing no road, no route, just static and coordinates. I stared ahead. The road was there, but not on the screen. It had vanished from all records. A beep sounded. Dashcam lit up. The file labeled unknown. Entity detected, auto deleted. I rewound again. Just static. But for one frame, there was a shape beside me. Too close. I zoomed in. Pale face, no mouth, black eyes, looking at me like I belonged in its memory. The screen glitched and froze, then restarted itself. Labeled. Recording corrupted. My phone rang. No number. Just the words. Do not delete with a timecode I didn't record. When I answered, my own voice whispered, "He's not watching you. He's using you to see." I dropped the phone. Behind me, something shifted under the bump like it exhaled once. I didn't check. I just drove. But the seatbelt tightened around me like it had a new rule. The next town appeared suddenly. No sign, no lights. Just buildings frozen in mid-shutdown. The gas station lights blinked rapidly, as if trying to send a warning in Morse I never learned. I stayed in the cab, rolled down the window slightly. The air smelled like ozone and silence. A man stood by the pump. I waved. He didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then turned pixel by pixel. I blinked, and he was gone. No trace. Not even heat on the thermal camera I tried to aim. Dashcam turned on by itself. Screen showed my truck, but from far above, hovering still. I spoke into the radio. "Is anyone there?" The answer came from my own throat. Uninvited. It said, "Not anyone. Just echoes. We repeat what you think you'll forget." I turned the key. Truck wouldn't start. But the radio clicked once and played a heartbeat. And outside, the same man stood again. This time facing me, without any face at all. Asterisk, the static on the radio began to form patterns. Not noise, but coded breathing in sequence. I wrote the pattern down. Hours later, it matched coordinates from an old military map scan. My eyes ached. Not from light, from something invisible that had been watching too long. I turned the camera again toward the rear. The screen flickered, then showed me asleep. But I was awake, driving, staring at the screen, watching myself sleep from a moving truck. My reflection yawned, turned its head, and looked directly at me, through the recording. Then it vanished. But on my neck, cold air moved like breath from something inches behind. I didn't check. I knew. It was replaying what came next, before it even happened to me. Outside, fog erased the road signs, leaving only one blinking message: "Stay awake." And my voice whispered from the dashcam speaker, "You're already being remembered." The dashboard started blinking numbers I'd never seen. Not speed, not fuel, just timestamps. Each one was in reverse, counting down to something I couldn't read or predict in miles. I hit the brakes again. The road flickered, like the World had skipped forward and back. In the rear view, headlights. But no car, just beams, attached to nothing, drifting upward. I heard boots in the gravel. Got out with a flashlight, but there were only footprints in mist. One said walk toward the truck. Another said walked out of it, dragging something unseen. I ran back and locked the doors. The CB lit up without sound, blinking 3 times in rhythm. Dashcam activated. The frame froze. It showed me sleeping again, this time not breathing. The file deleted itself before I could stop it, and in its place appeared new driver log. But I was still here, still driving. At least, that's what I kept telling myself out loud. When I passed the next mile marker, I noticed it was repeating minus 213. Then again. I reset the GPS. It refused to load. All it displayed was reality buffer exceeded. I opened the window for air, but outside, nothing moved. Not wind, not bugs, not leaves. The mirror now showed 2 reflections. One of me, one delayed, staring without blinking. I tried to speak. The voice that came out was mine, but said something I didn't think. Turn around. It said. I didn't, but the seat pushed back as if trying to choose for me. The cabin chilled instantly. The fog outside pressed against the window like it had a face. Dashcam file opened again, but it showed tomorrow's date, with my name already crossed out. I whispered, "Is this the end?" And the mirror said, "It's already uploaded." Then the engine started on its own, like it wasn't mine to command anymore. The radio returned, this time not static, but a voice I knew, my own, from an earlier day. It was a recording, but I'd never said those things, warnings about a man made of light. Each phrase it spoke, the lights above the road dimmed, matching the words in real time. I grabbed the mic, tried to reply, but the signal reversed, and my voice answered first. The reflection in the windshield was gone, but in the glass, something else breathed softly. Not fog, not heat. It rode across the glass with moisture. Watch from inside only. I blinked. Now the road was different, angled wrong, like it spiraled without turning. I drove forward anyway, but it felt like I was heading back into a place that remembered me. The radio clicked again. You don't remember what happened here, but something does. And the dashcam recorded nothing, just a frame of me frozen, looking behind me, afraid. I reached the border checkpoint just past midnight, but no gate, no guard, no lights appeared. Instead, a metal speaker crackled on its own. You're already cleared. We've seen this route. My skin felt scanned, not touched, as if my body had been downloaded into a new version. On my ID, the photo changed. My eyes were wrong, wider, dilated like someone else's memory. I turned the dashcam to my face. It recorded me smiling, but I wasn't smiling at all. The GPS rerouted again. Now reading, follow yourself, with no destination in sight. Outside, a figure stood by the trees, still, hands folded, blinking in time with my heartbeat. The engine roared on its own. I held the brake, but it pushed forward against my will. I looked to the mirror again, but now there were 3 of me, each with a different stare, and only one blinked, the one that wasn't driving anymore. I blacked out. Maybe seconds, maybe hours. When I came to, the road was upside down. Trees bent toward me, not up, as if gravity had shifted to where the stairs were heavier. My breath fogged the windshield, but the mist drew symbols I couldn't have imagined awake. The dashcam pulsed light, not video. A signal flashed in Morse I'd never seen before. It read, "Your memory has been stored. Continuing transmission. The figure walked ahead of my truck, faceless, yet always glancing over its shoulder. I honked the horn. It echoed behind me like I was hearing a warning from the past. I opened the door and stepped out. The sky turned black. Not dark, black, like turned off. I screamed, and the sound left my body but never returned to my ears and inside the truck. Someone else closed the door from the driver's seat. I ran. Gravel tore into my boots but made no sound. Not muffled, erased, like denied motion. My flashlight flickered even with new batteries, showing only what didn't want to be seen. I looked behind me. The truck stayed still. Its lights off, but the engine's still breathing. The shape in the cab turned its head. Same jacket as mine. Same hands. Same scar. I shouted my name. The voice returned. No, that's our name now. My keys turned cold in my pocket, then vanished. Just gone, as if they never belonged here. I dropped to my knees. The dirt vibrated, not from trucks, from pulses underground. A warning blinked across the fog. One story, many eyes, none human. I covered my face. A light passed over, but it didn't shine. It removed color from everything. And when I looked up, the truck was gone, but I still heard it driving just behind me. I wandered until morning, or what I assumed was morning. The sun rose wrong, slower. The sky shimmered like the background of a movie still rendering its final layer. A road sign read, "Reality may lag. Proceed as normal." I followed it, feet aching, until I saw a truck stop ahead, with my rig parked outside. Inside, the diner lights buzzed. People stared but didn't blink. Forks floated midair. I sat down. The waitress walked over, but her face pixelated and rotated, smiling wrong. She said, "You've already eaten," but I hadn't. My plate was full but smelled like static. A man at the next booth turned to me. It was me. Same clothes, same skin, no expression. He whispered, "We deliver memory now. That's all this highway ever wanted." And my food vanished, replaced by a mirror. I saw nothing until I blinked out one final mile. The road curved into sky, impossible and beautiful, like thought made solid. I was back in the cab. I don't remember entering. My hands were already on the wheel. The radio played something familiar, a voice, my own, reading this exact sentence aloud. I looked into the mirror. Only one reflection now, but it wasn't mine. It nodded once. The engine growled deeper than before, vibrating through the floor like a heartbeat reloaded. Headlights activated, but not mine. They came from the sky, shaped like memories falling. The dashcam turned to face me and whispered, "File complete. Begin replacement protocol." I smiled, not because I wanted to, but because someone else finally knew where I belong. The last sign I passed read, "Thank you for driving." But the words faded as I looked back, and on the windshield, one phrase remained in fog. "We see you, even when you don't." Asterisk, the gas station disappeared behind me, erased like memory after waking from a nightmare. No lights followed, but I could feel something in the trailer. Not cargo, but consciousness. I checked the mirror again. No reflection now, just a shadow blinking from the rear seats. I turned the cam. It refused to focus, stuck on a frame where my face twisted sideways. Not in pain, in imitation, like something was practicing how to become me in layers. The air smelled like electricity. I tried to speak, but the voice came first. Not mine. Too late to remember, too early to forget. It said, as fog poured into the vents outside. The road split into three, but my GPS read only one, inside. I gripped the wheel. My hands pulsed with heat. Or were they someone else's hands now? The glove box opened on its own, and a mirror inside showed me smiling without eyes. My fingers moved without thought, typing a log I hadn't lived yet. Dates in the future. Each entry ended with the same phrase: "The host accepts." But I never typed it. The windows no longer showed the world, just looping footage of roads I hadn't driven. I opened the door, stepped out, and saw my truck pass me. With me still inside it, I ran, tried to follow, but the road stayed still while the scenery rushed past like video. A billboard read, "1 mile per mile. Do not duplicate," then it vanished into pixels. I screamed. My voice echoed ahead of me, then returned from behind, altered, reversed. A horn blasted, not from a vehicle, from above, like sky opening its lungs. I dropped to my knees. The ground bent upward. Gravity now chose who it would keep, and from inside the fog, my own voice whispered, "You're almost ready to forget." I saw signs now, not on the road, inside the cab, written in steam, blinking like nerves. They warned in reverse: the body stays, the driver uploads. I tried to open the window. My hand passed through it. No glass, just a screen of memory outside. Figures walked backward, glitching like a corrupted video on loop. I called dispatch. The voice replied, "Welcome back. Echo Unit 3, upload successful." I screamed again, but my scream bounced, layered, and ended in a voice not mine. The mirror showed 3 faces now: mine, past mine, and something older than thought. It said nothing, but I knew the next chapter was no longer mine to write. I reached for the keys, but the ignition pulsed on its own, like it recognized someone else. And when I blinked, I was already driving again, with no memory of stopping. I stopped trying to understand. The truck wasn't moving forward. The world was folding. The radio played my heartbeat, then the next heartbeat, but from someone not yet born. I saw a sign with no language, just colors, and still, I understood perfectly. It said, "The memory is complete. Begin transfer." The cab filled with light, not bright, full, like something remembered too clearly. I felt my name loosen, like forgetting your own reflection mid-dream. The windshield melted into stars, but not outer. Space inner, like neurons lit by a story. The seatbelt clicked tight, not for safety, for containment. A screen on the dash said, "Driver absorbed, road reconstructed." And in the distance, a new truck started, with a new driver already inside, blinking. One final recording played, not from the dashcam, from the truck itself, humming like memory. It whispered, "This story is one of many, but this one still remembers who you were." Outside, there were no roads now, just lights shaped like highways, spiraling forever inward. I closed my eyes, not to sleep, but to join whatever I'd already become. The radio said, "You are now archived, all miles recorded, emotion extracted successfully." I smiled, not from happiness, from relief. The road had finally learned how to keep me. The truck rolled forward, without tires, without time, into a sky that no longer blinked. The mirror turned off. There was no need to reflect what no longer belonged in reflection. And far ahead, I saw other trucks, all moving, all empty, all driven by memory alone. The last transmission faded. "Thank you for driving." Version complete.